Be Me. Censure R. Dr. Victoria Hayes, feminist relationship expert and best-selling author, Ph.D. from Harvard, host of Toxic Men Decoded podcast with 800K subscribers, written 4 books exposing male manipulation tactics in dating, regular guest on The View, CNN, MSNBC, discussing dating red flags, my expertise, helping women identify and avoid problematic men, latest book, The Predator's Playbook, just went viral on TikTok, young women sharing my content about male manipulation strategies. I've become the go-to expert for decoding toxic masculinity, speaking at universities, warning women about dangerous dating patterns, built entire career on exposing how men deceive and exploit women, plan ambitious new project, infiltrate male dating communities, going undercover to document their real conversations about women, expecting to find misogyny, objectification, and manipulation tactics will create definitive exposé of male dating psychology. This will be the smoking gun proving everything I've taught. Start with popular men's dating forums on Reddit, expecting pickup artist strategies and degrading talk about women. Instead, find something that doesn't match my research at all. Men sharing genuine emotional pain about constant rejection. This isn't the predatory behavior I came to document. First post that stops me cold. Rejected 89 times this year. Starting to lose hope. I'm clean. Employed. Treat women respectfully. Have interesting hobbies. But apparently none of that matters anymore. Maybe I should just accept I'm meant to die alone. Comments aren't offering manipulation tactics. They're offering suicide prevention. Scroll through more threads. Pattern emerges. Men documenting dating failures with scientific precision. Spreadsheets tracking approaches. Conversation. And rejections. Not plotting to deceive women. Trying to understand what they're doing wrong. These sound like trauma victims, not predators. One detailed analysis particularly jarring. Height, 5'7" inches. Automatic disqualification for 78% of women. Income, $65. Ling, ling, ling. Below requirement for 45% of profiles. Photo's professional headshot got 12% fewer matches than casual pics. Bio-optimization, mentioning career decreased matches by 23%. This is data analysis, not manipulation strategy. Thread about ethnic discrimination in dating apps. As Indian man, match rate dropped 73% when I included last name. Women who matched would ghost after seeing full name. Tried anglicized version. Suddenly getting responses. Racism and dating is real. But nobody talks about it. Comments full of minority men sharing identical experiences. ASEAN, Middle Eastern. Latino men describing systematic exclusion. Not angry incel rants. Just factual documentation of bias. These aren't privileged predators. They're marginalized humans facing discrimination. Fine thread that breaks my heart. My friend Jake killed himself last week. Left notes saying no woman would ever love him. He was 26. Virgin. Never even held hands with anyone. Tried dating apps for 4 years. Maybe 10 total dates? System broke him down until he gave up. Comment section is men sharing suicide prevention resources. Planning to attend Jake's funeral. Supporting his family. Multiple men admitting they've considered same escape. This isn't toxic masculinity. It's human suffering. Decide to create fake male profile to test their claims. Use average photos of decent look guy. Honest bio. List normal job. Interesting hobbies. Respectful messages. Expecting flood of matches to prove these men are exaggerating. After 2 weeks from matches. 1 conversation. 0 actual dates. Meanwhile, my female profile gets 300 plus likes in first day. Can choose from dozens of attractive, successful men, each one trying desperately to impress and maintain conversation. The power dynamic is completely opposite of what I believed. Men are begging for scraps, while women have endless options. Try optimizing male profile with professional photos. Rewrite bio multiple times based on expert advice, still getting maybe 2 to 3 matches per week maximum. Most women don't respond to carefully crafted messages. Those who do lose interest within days experience psychological impact of constant rejection firsthand. Start checking app obsessively for new matches. Each no match feels like personal judgment of unworthiness. Beginning to understand the depression these men describe, this level of rejection would destroy anyone's self-esteem. Infiltrate pickup artist community, expecting toxic misogyny. Instead, find support group for socially anxious men. Most clients are virgins or haven't dated in years, seeking basic conversation skills, not manipulation tactics. Instructors teaching confidence and social skills, not predatory behavior. Attend pickup boot camp. Undercover is journalist. Room full of awkward engineers, teachers, accountants. Average age 28. Most never had serious relationships. Instructor teaching them how to start conversations, how to read body language, basic hygiene. I contact student testimonials, shatter my preconceptions. First time I've talked to a woman in 2 years. Finally learned how to not be creepy. Got a phone number. Felt like winning lottery. Still haven't kissed anyone. But I have hope now. These aren't predators learning manipulation. They're broken men learning to be human. Interview dating coach Marcus. Expecting misogynistic guru. Instead, find former therapist who genuinely cares about his clients. 90% of men who come to me are just desperately lonely. They're not trying to become players or manipulators. Just want one woman to choose them. Most successful outcome is getting a girlfriend. Not multiple hookups. He shows me client progress reports. Tom got his first kiss at age 32. David finally held hands with someone. Mike had his first relationship at 29. Kevin overcame social anxiety enough to go on dates. These are celebration of basic human connection, not conquest stories. Marcus explains the real problem. Social media destroyed these men's confidence before they started. They see women's dating options and know they can't compete. Dating apps turned relationships into window shopping. Average men don't even register as human to most women. Start interviewing men from forums directly, expecting entitled misogynists demanding sex from women. Instead, finding humans sharing vulnerability about crushing loneliness. Many haven't been touched by another person in months or years. Some describe elaborate suicide plans. Others talk them down. Stephen, Arshitsio, software developer, shares his story. I've been on 12 dates in 3 years. All ended in polite rejection. I analyze each interaction to figure out what I did wrong. Not to manipulate future women, but to become worthy of love. I just want someone to see me as boyfriend material. His dating journal is heartbreaking documentation. Notes about conversation topics that seem to work. Analysis of clothing choices and their impact. Tracking which restaurants led to second dates. None. This is trauma response to rejection, not predatory planning. David Senchuyi, teacher working with special needs kids. Women say they want sensitive, caring men, but they all date finance bros who treat them badly. I help disabled children find joy every day. Apparently, that makes me undateable loser. Kevin Arshitsi, paramedic who literally saves lives. I pull people from car wrecks. Guy CPR. Comfort families. But I'm Limanomin. So women swipe left immediately. Height requirement eliminates me before personality matters. How is that different from discrimination? Start realizing My expertise was built on selection bias. I only interviewed women who'd had bad dating experiences, hurt women seeking validation for their pain, never considered experiences of men being rejected. My sample was traumatized women, not representative population. Research actual dating statistics. Findings devastate my worldview. Average man gets 1 to 2 matches per week on dating apps. Women receive 100x more likes than average men. Greater than 80% of women compete for top 20% of men. Dating apps designed to exploit male desperation for profit. Studies show women rate 80% of men as below average attractiveness. Mathematically impossible. But reveals unrealistic standards. Men spending hundreds monthly on dating apps for minimal results. Entire industry built on male loneliness, not female vulnerability. Interview women from my original research with different questions. Sarah, who complained about being love-bombed, shows me his messages. Just consistent attention and interest. Brought flowers. To remember details about her life. Cooked dinner. Planned thoughtful dates. Her definition of manipulation. He acted like he liked her. Jessica, who felt pressured by previous boyfriend. His crimes wanted exclusivity after 3 months of dating. Asked about her day. Shared his own feelings. Expected relationship to involve emotional intimacy. Normal relationship behaviors redefined as toxic masculinity. Lisa describes being emotionally manipulated by ex. He opened up about work stress, family problems, wanted her support during difficult times, asked for reassurance about their relationship, male vulnerability, labeled as emotional manipulation. Pattern emerges that destroys my professional framework. Women have weaponized therapy language against normal male behavior. Showing interest becomes love bombing. Wanting commitment becomes controlling. Having emotions becomes manipulation. Male humanity redefined as toxicity. Neuroscience research reveals biological reality I ignored. Men's brains show higher activation in rejection-sensitive areas. Chronic romantic rejection creates trauma-like symptoms. Social isolation triggers same pain responses as physical injury. These men aren't becoming toxic. They're becoming traumatized. Economic data shows dating market completely skewed. Men spend 85% of money on dating apps and dates. Women use apps for entertainment and validation. Top 10% of men get 90% of female attention. Remaining men compete for scraps, while apps profit from desperation. International comparisons reveal this is global crisis. Japan's herbivore men choosing isolation over rejection. South Korea's dating strike among young men. European studies showing male social withdrawal. Everywhere, women gained dating power. Marriage rates collapsed. Mental health professionals quietly confirm what I'm discovering. Male suicide attempts after romantic rejection up 400%. Depression and anxiety rates among single men skyrocketing. Dating apps directly linked to male mental health crisis, but can't discuss publicly due to political correctness. Try sharing preliminary findings with feminist colleagues. Dr. Williams, you're being manipulated by sophisticated male sob stories. These men have gotten better at playing victim. Don't let them gaslight you with fake vulnerability. Academic feminism cannot process data contradicting victim narrative. Social media backlash. When I hint at changing perspective, followers calling me male-identified feminist, pick-me behavior and internalized misogyny. Speaking engagements canceled. Podcast sponsors dropping, truth is expensive when it threatens profitable narratives. Publisher rejects new book proposal immediately. Male victimhood doesn't sell to our female demographic. Women want empowerment content, not sympathy for men. Stick to your proven formula of exposing toxic masculinity. Market forces prevent honest discussion about male struggles. Continue research despite professional suicide. Find data that's even more disturbing. Countries with strongest feminist movements have highest male suicide rates. Dating equality activism correlates with relationship satisfaction decline. Progressive areas show worst outcomes for average men. My movement may be literally killing people. Therapists specializing in male clients share off-record insights. Male depression epidemic directly tied to romantic isolation. These aren't bad men. They're lonely humans. Society tells them their pain doesn't matter. Many clients contemplating suicide over dating rejection. Suicide prevention expert shares horrifying statistics. Single men have highest suicide rates of any demographic. Most attempts involve men who've never experienced romantic love. Dating apps created psychological torture device for average men. We're watching genocide of lonely men in real time. Start experiencing panic attacks, processing this information. Everything I've built my career on might be completely wrong. Men aren't predators exploiting women. Their prey being systematically rejected and dehumanized. My expertise was ignorance disguised as authority. Decide to completely rebuild my understanding from ground up. Can't continue promoting narratives that contribute to male suicide. Begin writing honest book about male dating experiences. Document systematic rejection and discrimination they face. Title, The Invisible Suffering: How Dating Culture Broke Men. Early readers from male communities overwhelmingly grateful. Thousands of messages thanking me for seeing their humanity. Stories of suicide prevention after reading draft chapters. Men sharing with therapists. Family members. Friends. First time many felt acknowledged by credentialed expert. Most powerful testimonial comes from Marcus in original forum. Was planning suicide before seeing my research validation. Realized his loneliness wasn't moral failing or toxic masculinity. Started therapy. Began healing from rejection trauma. Now advocates for other struggling men in similar situation. Book release creates media firestorm, exactly as expected. Feminist media attacking me as traitor to women's liberation. Men's rights groups initially suspicious of my motives, but suicide prevention advocates strongly endorse message. Mental health professionals privately supporting research. 6 months post-publication. Measuring real-world impact. Male suicide rates showing first decline in areas with high readership. Women reporting increased empathy for struggling men. Dating apps implementing features to reduce male exploitation. Therapists changing approaches to male relationship trauma. The raw truth I couldn't handle initially. Men in dating market aren't predators gaming innocent women. They're humans breaking under systematic rejection and dehumanization. Women aren't victims of male manipulation tactics. They're consumers in marketplace where men are desperate products. Modern dating creates impossible situation for everyone. Men must achieve perfection to get basic consideration. Women overwhelmed by choices. None seem good enough. Both genders suffering, but in completely different ways. System optimized for profit extraction. Not human connection. My journey from feminist expert to human advocate started believing I understood everything about male psychology, discovered I knew nothing about actual male experiences. Ideological certainty blinded me to obvious human suffering. Truth required abandoning comfortable victim narratives. Most important lesson from men's raw honesty about dating. They're not asking for much beyond basic human dignity. Opportunity to be seen as individuals, rather than statistics. Chance to love and be loved, despite physical or economic limitations. Same fundamental needs women have, just expressed differently. Current mission. Building empathy instead of maintaining division. Help both genders understand each other's genuine experiences. Create dating culture based on humanity rather than exploitation. Where everyone's struggles are recognized and validated. Instead of zero-sum gender warfare benefiting nobody, final realization that guides everything I do now. Real expertise requires intellectual humility and courage. Willingness to have core beliefs shattered by evidence. Men's raw truth about dating wasn't comfortable to hear, but it was necessary for understanding actual reality. And reality is always more complex than any ideology suggests. The raw truth shattered my feminist expertise, but saved my humanity. showed me that behind every toxic male behavior pattern is usually just human pain. Desperately seeking connection. Maybe if we listen with empathy, instead of labeling with ideology, we could heal the dating crisis instead of making it worse. Months after releasing my book, invitations slowly start coming again, not from mainstream feminist outlets, but from mental health conferences. Clinicians want me to explain why their male patients feel invisible, begin presenting at suicide prevention summits, men's health symposiums, audiences stunned by statistics, but more by raw testimonies from forums, doctors admitting they never asked male clients about dating rejection, now realizing it's often a root cause of their despair. After one talk, middle-aged therapist pulls me aside. "I lost my brother to suicide. Reading your work finally explained why." Her tears remind me this isn't abstract research. It's human lives. Unexpected support comes from women. 2. Emails from wives, sisters, daughters, saying they finally see pain in men they love. One woman writes, "I used to mock my brother for being single at 30. After your book, I apologized and promised to listen without judgment." Messages like that confirm I chose the harder but truer path. Not everyone grateful. Still daily hate from activist circles, but men who once felt invisible now feel acknowledged, and that makes the backlash worth enduring. Biggest realization hits me quietly one evening. Scrolling old forums I first infiltrated as research. Now they read like survival journals instead of case studies. Recognize usernames of men I once dismissed as toxic. See updates about them finally in therapy. Some, even in relationships, community thanking each other for staying alive another week. Realize transformation wasn't just theirs. It was mine. 2. From expert armed with ideology to human learning empathy. Sympathy. That journey will always matter more than any credential. Looking back, I realized the real scandal wasn't toxic masculinity. It was how blind we were to men's pain. They weren't predators hiding in the shadows. They were human beings slowly disappearing in plain sight, and silence was the sharpest weapon used against them.